What's up guys, it's Rokta here and welcome back to yet another amazing video in the channel. So for today I got you a brand new deck profile on the deck that I think after the October ban list will be in contention for being one of, if not the best deck of the format. What I think this deck is one of those explosive combo decks I have ever seen. It is crazy what the one card combos are on this deck. It's absolutely insane. So I think that is completely protected from the ban list because it's actually not doing anything right now in the current meta. So why is that? Well, I'd say it's probably because this deck, after you buy it, is going to make you be on those instant noodles for the next month because you literally have no money after you buy this deck. It is a crazy expensive deck, and with the Mega Tin, it will address it in some sort of way, but it is still a very expensive deck. So yeah, that is one of the reasons. Another reason is I don't think people are currently testing with this, experimenting with this deck because the meta is very defined at the moment. It is basically just Tri-Brigade, Prank Kids, and basically some Drytron as well. It's very defined. You know what decks are the best ones at the moment, and it's very hard for any other deck that's outside of that to sort of push in because it's sort of that triangle where it's those three top decks and the other decks sort of just have to either break in, which is very difficult, or just, you know, take an event by surprise. But without any further ado, I feel like this deck is still very good, and I'm showing you a deck profile that is banlist proof in my opinion. No matter what, this deck will be untouched. This version of the deck will be untouched. There are other builds that could potentially have cards touched, like Dragoon, like Verte and stuff like that, but we're not going to be using those cards in this deck profile. I feel like it hinders the consistency. Yes, it gives you more negates, but it also makes you brick a bit more. So without any further ado, let's get straight into this video. If you do like the deck profile, leave a like down below, comment what you want to see next. We're almost at 500 subs, so once we do that, I'll be doing some sort of special video just thanking you guys. The support has been crazy the last 2 years. I think that I've been doing this now. It's kind of crazy. We've picked up a lot recently in the last year. We've gained a bunch of subs, and I just want to thank you guys for that. But without any further ado, I'm going to stop rambling and let's get straight into the deck profile. So we're going to be starting off with the main deck here. It is of course 40 cards, and without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So to start it off, of course, this is a Phantom Knight deck. We are going to be starting off with triple of the Phantom Knight of Torn Scales. This is probably the best Phantom Knight in the deck by miles. The ability, it has the Foolish Burial, any Phantom Knight card, and revive itself from the grave. Is just crazy, guys. The more you play this deck, the more you realize that this card is absolutely insane. Now this is where we differ from the usual builds. We're actually playing 3 the Phantom Knight of Ancient Cloak and 3 of Phantom Knight of Silent Boots. You're thinking, why are you playing, cards that are considered to be 2 wolves now? I'll show you guys why a bit later on when we get to the spells, but I'm playing triple of each just because I want to be seeing Phantom Knights in my hand in particular. So yeah, 3 of each. Silent Boots such as your spells and traps, and Ancient Cloak such as your monsters. So they're sort of very good. Silent Boots also just being able to special out your hand as long as you control a Phantom Knight monster is crazy. And yeah, that is it for the main Phantom Knight monsters that you basically see in every build. Now we're gonna move on to the the less useful ones. We've got 1 copy of the Phantom Knight of Stained Greaves. This card, in my opinion, is a one-off. It is very good though. It will special summon to your field if a Phantom Knight is special to the field from the grave or the hand. And it has the ability to banish itself to basically put another Phantom Knight monster on your board. Very useful, but a one-off. And for the last Phantom Knight main deck monster here, we got the Ragged Gloves. This is basically just used to send your trap to the grave and basically just get a monster reborn off your trap. So that is why I'm playing one of him. Now for the non Phantom Knight monsters here, we got our main starter. It is of course Tour Guide. Tour Guide is absolutely crazy. This is a 1-card combo into just like 5 negates. It's absolutely insane card. It is also the biggest choke point of the deck. If they ash your Tour Guide, unless you've opened an absolutely insane hand, it is basically just pass turn from there. You really need this Tour Guide to resolve because it kickstarts your entire engine. So 3 Tour Guide for obvious reasons. You want to be seeing her in your hand every single time. Moving on for the supporting engine with the Tour Guide, we got 1 Graph and 1 Seer. This is it. I'm trying to make it brick, and I'm trying to not make it brick because most Phantom Knight builds that I see do play the Libic as well. But in my opinion, why are you going to be doing that? You're going to be going through both these Burning Abyss in your combo, and basically that's it. You don't want any more Burning Abyss cards in your deck because you basically brick on them later on. So Graph basically will get you the Seer, and Seer will special back your Link 2 once you use it as the Link material. So that is it for the Burning Abyss package. For your other level 3s here, we got double Kegamusha Knight. I've seen people, want this card to be played at 3 in my other builds. I still think it's a good 2-of. Although I see every deck list playing 3, I play 2 because I don't really want to be seeing 2 of this card in my hand. So yeah, I stick to 2 Kegamusha Knight. It works perfectly for me. I see it when I need to see it. And plus, we're going to be, we've added a card in here that lets you draw cards a lot. So that is why double Kegamusha Knight is fine. You don't want to be seeing 2 of this in your hand. So yeah, double Kegamusha Knight. Now, for the other level 3s, we've got the one wielder and the tracker. Don't play 2 of this or 2 of this. There's no point. Just play 1 of each because they're both hard once per turns and they both just special summon as long as you control level 3. Absolutely no point in playing 2 of this or 2 of this. Just 1 of each is fine. They just serve as your extenders. For your danger package, 1 SC, 1 Jackalope, and Tsuchinoko. They're limited for a reason, guys. They are insane. Even if they do get hit, they basically plus. So yeah. For your hand traps, double Ash and double Bell. Basically just, the most generically useful hand traps in my opinion. That's why I'm playing them. I'm not playing many because they're not darks. Hint, hint, what card we're playing in the spells. And you don't want to be drawing them, you don't want to be drawing 2 of this or 2 Bell. So that is why. For your spells, I'm playing Allure of Darkness. I don't see any build currently play this. In my opinion, this card is insane because not only do you get to draw 2, when you banish a dark, you do play Lev. So if you do banish an important Phantom Knight monster like Torn Scales, make Lev in your combo, bring back the Torn Scales, then you'll get, basically like you never banished the card in the first place. So yeah. Triple Allure helps you see your important cards, helps you dig your deck. And I don't know why people don't play this card, it's actually crazy. Moving on for the next vital card in my opinion, you do need to be playing Droplets because the Sending to Grave, which is this card's main drawback, is absolutely free in this deck. What are you going to be sending? Your Phantom Knight monsters, they want to be in the grave. So that is why I'm playing Droplet. Extra advantage off your Fog Blade. Once it's done its thing, activate Droplet, send Fog Blade, negate something else, half it. It's crazy card. The only reason I'm not playing 3 is 1, because I don't have a 3rd ulti, which I'd like to play the matching set. And secondly, because with Allure, you don't want to be seeing multiples of this card because it is only an activate once per turn. For the other spells, 1 Rota, 1 Foolish, 1 Rank Up Magic, and 1 E-Telly. That is it for the spells. This basically just gets you one of your little psychic guys at the deck. This is needed because this will help you make your big dragon with loads of negates. A Foolish Burial is a free Phantom Knight in the grave. Usually you send your Ancient Cloak, which will be able to search you anything, and your Rota is the same. Now for the traps, we got triple of the Fog Blade and just the 1 Shade Brigandine. Again, I am not playing basically the traps that do nothing. I see people play the 1 Phantom Knight trap that does absolutely nothing. Just send it to the grave. Why do that when you can just send a Fog Blade, in my opinion? You're not going to be using all 3 Fog Blades in a turn. That's silly. So I just usually send a Fog Blade, use it to Monster Reborn, and I usually have just the 2 set, for more negates, and then the 1 Shade Brigandine for an extension. But I'm also not playing the Dragoon package, as I said before. I don't feel like adding, 3 bricks essentially to the deck, which is the Red Eyes Fusion, the Dark Magician, and the I forgot his name now, the Red Eyes. Yeah, that's the one. Because I feel like the deck really needs to be seeing Tour Guide as much as possible, and just adding those bricks, I really don't want that cards in my hand. So I'm just playing, Allure instead, basically. So that's it for the main deck. It is 40 cards, and now I'll be moving on to the extra deck. So now we're going to be moving on to the extra deck, and for, going second cards here, we got our Broadsword Dragon. Could be an access code, but in my opinion, Broadsword just does the job effectively as well. So, while you're waiting for your access code reprint, Broadsword Dragon, hey, this card was broken on release, and it's still a very, very good card, so don't sleep on this card. For our next thing, for going first, we got the 1 Appaloosa. You do make it a lot, usually with 3 negates, but you can make it with 4. This deck can end with like 5, 6, 7 monster negates, which is, I think, another problem this deck has. It only has monster negates. It has no real form of negating spells or traps unless you pay Dragoon, which makes your deck more bricky. So I opted out of that. I don't feel like the 1 spell or trap negate is worth the bricking. So I'm just playing, as many monster negates as possible, and hope that I go against decks that just rely on monster effects like Drytron and all that. So Appaloosa is really good. We all know what Appaloosa does. We got the 1 Nightmare Unicorn as our Link 3. Just spin cards back. You generate a lot of bodies in this deck for free. So, link climbing isn't a problem, so we play the Unicorn. The one Rusty Bardish, this card is insane. You resolve this card like twice and you just win the game flat because he sends a Phantom Knight to the grave and sets you a spell and trap. You don't know how crazy that is until you've used this card. Also, when you summon an Xyz scenario points to, he pops a card. So if he couldn't get better, he has the pop effect as well. And the traps can just revive him back from the grave. So as long as you successfully summon him once and doesn't get striked, you basically have him for the rest of the game. So, crazy card. We got the 1 IP Masquerena. Again, just to make Unicorn, you know, quickly on your opponent's turn, just summon it, boom, spin a card back. For your other link too, we got 1 Cherubini. This card is crazy. 2 level 3s and it sends for cost. Brilliant. Basically, just 2 level 3s. Then you want to send your Graph, summon your Seer onto its arrows. It protects your Burning Abysses from blowing themselves up. And then once you link off your Cherubini and your Seer into the Phantom Knight link, your Cherubini will revive itself back from the Seer effect. So that's crazy. You have a free link too for fodder for Appaloosa, which is why, in my opinion, Cherubini is a mandatory card to play. For the other link twos, we got 1 Phoenix and we got 1 Cerberus. Again, link climbs, just deal with stuff as you link climb, get free draws. If you can put it under like a unicorn or something. Just, yeah, and you know what these cards do. Pop a back row, pop a monster. That's it for the links. So now we got the Xyzes. 1 Arc Rebellion Xyz Dragon. This card is crazy, guys. I've OTK'd so many people with this card. It is also, if you use a dark material, it basically becomes a skill drain as well. So this card is crazy, guys. And if you basically make him, you're going to be winning that game, that turn for the battle phase, because this card gains so much attack, becomes a skill drain, and just, it's literally really easy to get this card to like something like 13,000 attack and just hit once and hit it for like 8k through a monster. So yeah. We got his counterpart here. Doc Requiem Xyz Dragon. This is the card that's going to be having loads of negates during your opponent's turn. Basically, you're going to be playing a Dark Rebellion, ranking him up into Doc Requiem, and as long as he has a Dark Rebellion as material, you can negate by a monster effect by detaching a card. So crazy, because this is going to have 2 materials, and then you're going to have a 3rd material when this is itself is used. So you're going to be negate, then you're going to detach your Dark Rebellion for the final negate, and then it's going to actually revive itself back with its effect. So that's insane, guys. So yeah, Dark Requiem, a very vital card. Provides like 3 interruptions when you make him. Crazy. For your other Xyz, we've got 1 Raider's Knight. This is basically just to make your Arc Rebellion during, you know, your turn when you're going for game. You make Breaksword, pop itself, you know, get your Phantom Knight to rank level 4, turn into a rank 4 Raider's Knight, and then rank up with its effect into the Arc Rebellion, which is rank 5. So yeah, it's basically just a counterpart to the Dark Rebellion. This is just your going 2nd package, and this is your going 1st package. Now moving on, we got our 2 Breakswords, of course. Pretty much the best. If apart from the link, it's like just a crazy Phantom Knight monster, one of the best, because it pops cards, and when it itself gets outed by battle or card effect, including your own card effects, which is vital, it basically just revives 2 Phantom Knight monsters from the grave, and then makes them level 4, which is supposedly a restriction, but we've already established that you just make your Dark Rebellion and then go into Dark Requiem and then like 3 negates on that one card. So yeah, Phantom Knight Breaksword, crazy card. And then for your final card, we mentioned it before with Allure. You banish with Allure your Dark Monster, and you make Lev, and you just, you know, get it back for free. So Allure doesn't really have the negative effects. And yeah, Lev's a crazy card as well, not once per turn. So I've seen other builds that play multiple Lev, and then you just keep bringing back banished monsters, and you like link it off into like the Mega Clops, I believe it's called, which is just unaffected by loads of things. But I've opted not to play that version, just the 1 Lev will do. That's it for the extra deck now. I'm going to be showing you the 1 card combo with Tour Guide. Okay guys, so this is the 1 card combo. It literally just requires you to have Tour Guide and any card for discard fodder. And yeah, this is it, so let's get to it. We're going to normal summon our Tour Guide, then we can get Ashton Pass. I'm just kidding, guys. We're going to normal summon our Tour Guide, use effect. We're going to special summon our Graph. Our Graph won't actually die here because its effects are negated when it's summoned by Tour Guide. We link 2 into our Cherubini. We will now activate Graph to special summon our Seer. Just do it under an arrow, just because. Now we're going to use Cherubini effect. I see a lot of people forget to do that. use Cherubini effect, you're gonna want to send your Ancient Cloak to the grave. Now you're gonna link these two away. This makes your Rusty Bardish. Use your Seer effect. Again, I see people forget about that as well, to summon your Cherubini. And now you're gonna summon it here, guys, in the zone first away, just so it doesn't really interrupt with your plays. Use your Bardish effect. You're gonna want to be sending your Torn Scales to the grave, and you're gonna want to be setting your Fog Blade. So that's one negate now that you have guaranteed no matter what. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use our Ancient Cloak effect. By banishing itself, we will actually be able to search a card, and the card we're gonna search is our Silent Boots. Now this will trigger our Torn Scales to special summon itself. So it comes back and we search for Silent Boots. This is where we need that discard, so we discard any card of Torn Scales. Could be an Extender, another Phantom Knight, it's whatever. We're gonna be sending a second copy of Ancient Cloak to the grave. I'll explain now why. Now after we send, we're gonna be special summoning the Silent Boots because we do control a Phantom Knight monster. And now all we gotta do is overlay them to the Breaksword. Now it's important that you summon it to an arrow that Bardish points to, because we're actually gonna be using Bardish effect to blow up our own Breaksword here. And you may be thinking why? Because it actually does trigger the Breaksword here, and we're going to be reviving back the Torn Scales and the Ancient Cloak that you sent to the grave. Very important that you do not summon back the Silent Boots, because we need that to be banished now to use its effect. So, and the reason we send the Ancient Cloak is because during our next turn we will have another monster search, so it just guarantees plays for the following turn. Now what we're going to do is we're going to overlay again into our Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. So, you know, if you watch the deck profile, you know why we're doing this, but now we're going to be banishing our Silent Boots, and that will search us the final card of our Rank Up Magic Force. So this was done with one card and a discard on, you know, you could have extenders, and that's where the Cherubini comes into play. You make your Appaloosa and you have more negates as well. But we're just going to leave it like that. Let's just pretend the discard was something that has no effect in the grave, was useless there, just, you know, to keep it simple. So now we pass our turn. And of course, now when our opponent does anything, we have our Fog Blade, which is the negate, and we have our Rank Up Magic Force. So the Rank Up Magic Force will actually be banishing the Graph because there's no Phantom Knights left in the deck, so that card is useless now. Banish it, and now we can special summon our Dark Requiem. Don't forget that you can also activate your Bardish effect here to blow up a card, and now whenever your opponent tries to activate a monster effect, you can do just Requiem effect, so that's 2 negates, 3 negates, and now you can revive back. You know, you can bring this back if you'd like, just to flex on your opponent, because then you have more materials during your next turn. And now, let's say that was it, and now we have, look what we have in the grave, guys, for our turn. We have our Ancient Cloak banish, search us whatever we need, your Torn Scales that comes back, so yeah, just really stacked, and gives us future plays, you know, for the next turn. So that is the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. Any improvements you guys can see on these videos, please let me know down below. I'm trying to improve the content for you guys, trying to really, you know, grind it out, get those subs up there so we can, you know, get these videos seen by more people, help more people, improve players, and improve myself as well. So without any further ado, I'm going to be logging off. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
It's time to